Hi, my name's Dan, otherwise known as the Cheesy Rider. Today we're at Feltham Farm. Feltham Farm is the home of Renegade Monk and also the home of the Rebel Nun. We're super privileged because today is a make day, which means we can get to go into their home-built cheese-making barn and witness the cheese being made today. So we're here literally to get under the rind of this pair of fantastic cheeses and also meet Marcus and Penny, who are a phenomenal pair of cheesemakers, entrepreneurs, and just all-round amazing people. So we're here to find out about the cheese making, the origins of the cheese making, their sustainability objectives, but also what the cheese making means to them and the effects of COVID over the last few months and how they see the future of British cheesemaking and the future for themselves. So here we go, Renegade Monk, Rebel Nun. We're going to go this direction, so if you follow me, we're going to go and check them out.
So we try to be as sustainable as possible. Obviously we use organic milk. We put in over 40 kilowatts of solar panels, and they not only charge up our electric van that we do the deliveries in, but they also give all the electricity for the cheese barn. On top of that, we've got a lot of geothermal energy coming from ground source heat, which if you have a look in here, this clever machine pushes the water through the pipes, and by the time it comes into the cheese barn the water is 46 degrees temperature, so that's solely using the ground source energy to warm up the water. And so we managed to use the ground source heating and the solar to power everything in the cheese barn, to heat up the milk, and cleverly by using a reverse loop we also use this geothermal energy to do the refrigeration in the barn as well, so we're completely zero impact. So for our new house we decided we didn't want a conventional swimming pool, we wanted a swimming pond, so you don't have to put any chemicals into it, and it's just got water plants and a pump just moves around the water and it won't go stagnant. And it was the first thing we told the architects. We're having this big swimming pond, and the sort of house we wanted had to have a zip wire going from the balcony outside our bedroom. And before I've done anything I just get on the zip wire and throw myself in the pool. Okay, so we're standing outside the barn. We're about to go in and see the cheese being made. This barn actually they built themselves, and that's exactly fundamentally what they're doing here. They're building a world for themselves. I mean, it's heaven, isn't it? He's built himself. Penny and Marcus have built their own little world here. And how many of us can actually say they actually do it? These guys have. So let's go and check it out.
It is like a kind of form of meditation. It's just, you know, kind of making cheese. You can't think about anything else while you're making cheese because otherwise it goes wrong. Yeah. And actually it's really kind of visceral and kind of lovely. Well, lovely as in literally lovely, because what I do a lot is helping moulding up. And literally the feel of curds on your skin. So I imagine it's what kind of like being in heaven is like. It's, you know, it's just
sort of floating on a fluffy cloud.
And kind of, you know, warm, and God, it's lovely.
I am washing the cheese with ale, so this is what helps to secure the rind on the cheese a little bit and helps it to soften over time. The important thing is you want them evenly coated, but you don't want to saturate them in it because some of our cheeses then stay too soft for too long and then it's impossible to package them.
We check every cheese before it goes out.
There you go. Yeah.
And that means you lift the lid, you kind of go, okay, how's that looking? And if it's not right, you put it to one side. So basically 17% of our stock, we'd said, no, that's not right. So, well, I mean, it got fed to the pig. Yeah. But, you know, that's a lot of stock to kind of go, but we did it because we knew that actually it's got to be right.
I'm really privileged now to have Marcus and Penny. So So we've got the king of the curd and the original rebel nun on the sofa. And I'd like to point out we are obviously 2 meters apart. Thank you for letting us use your sofas and create a little mini studio.
You're most welcome.
They were just there, they were crying out, come on, let's make a little outdoor studio. We've got the bike there, we've got the panniers on the bike now, which is fantastic. I would like to say thank you because I'm actually going to be taking some cheese in these panniers back home after this interview. So, what makes Renegade Monk so unique? Or Rebel Nun as well?
It's a hybrid cheese, so it is a blue cheese, it's a soft cheese, and it's a washed rind cheese, so that combination is pretty unique.
Brilliant, okay. And what is new in development?
So we are working, and we've been working throughout lockdown on this, on a new fresh cheese, the polar opposite of Renegade Monk. So it's like a type of queso fresco, which is going to go under the name of La Fresca Margarita, which means the fresh daisy in Spanish. So it's a much lighter cheese, but there's a little sort of twist in there that if you put the word fresca with a girl's name in Spanish, it also means somebody a little bit coquettish, a little bit naughty.
A little bit racy, even.
A little bit racy.
Okay.
So yeah, it was hard. It was pretty tough in March, because on the 23rd of March, 24th of March, when lockdown was announced, we had about 1,000 cheeses that, you know, a lot of our partners are restaurant partners, and a lot of the kind of distributors are food services industries. We thought that everything was going to go horribly wrong.
And then we got a lot of amazing support from wholesalers, and one in particular, Fine Cheese, who recognised that the soft cheese makers were in a lot of trouble. And they went the extra mile of guaranteeing us sort of weekly orders, so we knew how much to make. And so the other thing that happened was the virtual cheese awards. Yeah. So all the cheese awards, obviously, this year were cancelled. And then two people, Sarah DeWitt and Nigel from White Farms, decided to set up this virtual awards, and 300 cheeses entered, and blow me down, but we won. We were awarded Best British Cheese. It was the most...
But not just that, we won live on Zoom.
I love the way you both talk about cheese. It's one of the things that struck me about like being here with you guys is that there's real love, there's real passion for what you guys do here, you know, and that's why I'm here today, is to sort of like to really find out about what makes you guys tick. What made you get into cheese making? Now, I mean, you've told this story many a time, but if I ask you, Marcus, what keeps you inspired? So, what does cheese making, or being a producer of an artisan cheese, do for you as a human being?
I think you feel in touch with real things. So I used to have a job in an office, and I was pushing paper and responding to emails. And with cheese making, it's visceral. You know, you get the raw ingredients, and you're turning it into something that you can sell to an end consumer and watch their joy as they eat it.
Okay. I mean, obviously you don't watch every single person eat every single cheese, but like when you're actually making the cheese, like, where does your mind go?
I think your mind does have to wander, because a lot of cheese making is quite repetitive. You know, there's a lot of washing, there's a lot of piercing, so it is a chance to let your mind empty and see where it goes. So sometimes I'll just be listening to music, other times I'll be maybe thinking about the business and how we can improve things, but other times thinking about anything that springs into my mind.
So do you find that you can be a little bit more creative, maybe?
At times.
Okay.
You know, there are times when you're just exhausted, and you've got to wash another 500 cheeses, and you don't feel creative at those points. So it would be wrong to present it as a permanent idyll.
Yes.
You know, it is hard work, but there are moments when the mind will drift, and you can be creative.
And do you stop from time to time and just go, oh my God, I'm doing I'm living my dream. I'm living what I wanted to do. You know.
Yeah.
I keep stopping us and saying, this is what we wanted. This is absolutely what we wanted, because, you know, we are here. We're very much living in the moment. We're doing something that is creative and productive and feels right, certainly for us now.
Usually when I'm at my wit's end, and Billy tries to sort of ground me again and remind me that this is a good thing.
Well, that's remarkable, because, I mean, at the end of the day, you are both Feltham Farm. You know, it isn't one of you. It's a pair. It's a team effort. Yeah. And you're not just making a cheese here. You're making it like a world for yourself. And in this world of bubbles, you know, I think it's quite poignant that, you know, I get to spend a time inside your bubble, albeit socially distanced. Did you always intend to create a world for yourself? Was that the idea when you moved from London?
I don't. When we moved, we didn't envisage working together.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. Did we?
No, because
No.
we both still had jobs in London.
And we were both
So-
kind of doing other things, but actually it happened by chance. And the reason why this partnership works so far
Okay.
is because Marcus has the attention to detail that I've never had.
Right.
I mean, he's just really kind of tweaky and slightly OCD, which is perfect for cheese making.
Slightly nerdy?
Definitely nerdy.
Sorry, Marcus.
You know, the nerd is king, after all.
Absolutely. We'll inherit
Nerd
the nerd
Nerd curd,
curd. Oh my
lovely.
God, that's even better than King of the Curd.
And I'm broad brush, you know, kind of keep moving, make sure things work, but I really don't. So kind of we motor each other along. And yes, I definitely could not be doing this on my own. I don't think you could do. You could make cheese really well, but
I wouldn't be able to sell it.
you wouldn't be able to sell it, and you wouldn't be able to get it out there.
And you've got the experience of running companies and
Running
setting up companies.
small companies on shoestring budgets.
Is British cheese making in a good place?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Well, that was
You know,
emphatic.
so there's been a real renaissance over the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
We're now meant to make more types of cheese than the French. I'm not sure if that's true, but
Well, I've heard
nice.
700 British cheeses. So,
Nice
yeah,
to think
yeah.
about.
Yeah.
And, you know, new cheesemakers are popping up all the time and new cheeses are being created. So
Yeah.
I think it's in rude health.
There's a nice bit of blue on the rind just there. All right. So
Ooh, lovely.
look at that. So Rebel Nun is like the second cheese, isn't it? Really, isn't it?
It's
the
the
one that
sister
goes rogue.
cheese.
The
Yeah.
sister cheese. The paste on this particular one, you've matured. That was absolutely perfect, wasn't it? Actually, it wasn't too runny. A little bit of bite, tiny bit of bite left, but the paste was just incredibly milky and creamy. Then I got the acidity from the blue, and now I'm just getting the lactic sort of like lusciousness on the back end of the taste and the finish.
It's tasting good.
Thank you. Oh, that's amazing. All right, I think we'll wrap that up there. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Very
you.
welcome.
So, that's it. 2 days shooting here at Feltham Farm. I think it's a great start for Cheesy Rider's set of films, which are aiming to get under the skin of British cheesemaking, particularly the cheesemakers that I work with and have done for the last 12 or so years. What I love about Marcus and Penny is, as we've alluded to in the interview, they've created a world for themselves. Not only have they created two fabulous cheeses, Rebel Nun and Renegade Monk, but they've created this world, and what's quintessentially important to note is small batch cheesemaking is about the people behind the cheese, and that's what you're buying into. When you buy these cheeses, you're buying the love and the passion that these people put into their work. Thank you.